Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. Degenerate Bets. I am the Brofict one, AJ. This, of course, is my co-host, Noah. Noah's back there in Minnesota. Wild tonight, having a good, not yet calling it a victory, but kind of victory over the Coyotes. They're leading right now.
They're up 5-1 in the third. It's
so I guess we can
right now.
We can call it we can call that a victory pretty much. But you don't count your eggs until they're hatched or whatever, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we've mentioned it on bets before, but I've been telling AJ and a couple other people, best thing you can do during the NHL season this season is fade the Coyotes on the puck line every single week. AJ, I think if this score holds up tonight through 12 games, I think fading them on the puck line will be like 9-3, up over 10 units. If you bet 1 unit on each game.
I have to believe it. They are in their last 10 games, they are 2-8 against the spread.
Yeah.
6 games at home, they're 1-5, 7 games they're so fucking bad. But you know what? We'll talk about hockey at a later point. I want to get into
I was just saying because it's bets. I feel like I had to put that out there because it might be the best betting trend you can get on this entire season until these lines start getting real bad later.
Oh yeah, they start getting to 2.5, 3.5. Then you got to start laying off of those just responsibly, honestly.
Well, it'll never get to that, but when you're seeing -200 at -1.5, that's a little cause for concern.
True, not the best sign to see.
But until Vegas catches up, just keep taking it.
Yeah, no, honestly, keep taking it, keep enjoying that money coming in. So, I will say though, before we get into college, I want to talk about Tuesday really quick. This last Tuesday, because this last Tuesday I was having a great day, bro. College basketball was back. I was hitting some bets. It was a good time. And then after the Kansas game, who the hell did they play?
Michigan State.
Thank you. Kansas looking dominant and Duke looking great as well that night. We'll get into a little college basketball on a different episode. But sandwiched in between those was a 30-minute segment for the college football playoff rankings. And to watch them reveal Oregon as number 4 in the rankings is disgusting.
Three.
I'm so sorry. 3 now. What? Dude, I kind of get it. I don't get it at all. Oregon needs to lose another game. They need to be out of this because they're just going to embarrass themselves in the Pac-12 in the playoffs.
I don't need them to lose a game because I took money on them at +330 to make the playoff.
Shit.
Because my reasoning behind that, if they win out, they're in, right? So,
yeah.
So I've got money on Oregon to make the playoff. I took money on Alabama to miss the playoff at plus money for Alabama to miss the playoff. And let me tell you, this is the best hedge opportunity. I was telling you and multiple people about this down at homecoming, AJ. I saw a gold mine in front of me. You put as much money as you can on Bama plus money to miss the playoff. And then if they make it to the SEC championship game, they're probably the underdog.
100%.
And you just bet on Georgia.
Yeah.
Not Georgia, not Georgia. Sorry, excuse me. Then you bet on Bama plus odds to beat Georgia, and you have 2 equal bets plus odds. You're guaranteed money. Tell me where I'm wrong on this. Tell me where I'm wrong.
You're not. No, I ran the math and it works, dude.
And if Bama loses before the SEC championship and doesn't make the SEC championship, then you just hit a +140 bet. So
you're chilling.
And it might even be better now that they had such a close call with LSU, probably worse now that they had a close call with LSU. I misspoke. But if it's still plus odds for Bama to miss the playoff, I would totally take that. And then if they get to the SEC championship game, take them as a dog against Georgia with this equal amount. And you will profit, I don't know, 20-30% on that probably.
Yeah, that's a lot of math for me, but I trust yours a lot more than I trust mine, and I love that. Now let's get to something I know a little bit more about than math. Let's talk about some football, bro, because we got some excellent football coming up this week 11. I was a little discouraged last week after seeing the slate But walking in this week, I feel like I'm seeing the board a lot better. I changed some things up, and so I'm excited to see where it takes us this week. Let's get right into it with Thursday night football. We got UNC at Pitt. Got UNC as a 6.5-point dog, total being at 72.5. You got UNC plus 205 on the money line. Pitt minus 260. Noah, Pitt at home. Pitt's playing good football right now. UNC, though, nothing to shake your tail at. I'm split, bro. I'm honestly split. I want to take the favorite in this game because I do think Pitt's able to win this game. However, UNC has shown me that they can come in and win these games when they need to. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, despite their record, UNC is still a good team. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a point here and take UNC plus 7.5, and I'm going to take a tiny bit on the money line. Not a lot, but we're going to take a little on the money line. But we're going to take that point hook and take them plus 7.5.
I don't blame you on that. I'm going to take them on the 6.5, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line because you got to in a game like this when it is going to be closer. 6.5 is a lot of points. I think this might come down to a field goal. We'll see though. We will see. Noah, what game do you want to cover next as I scroll through trying to find the odds because I know they're wrong on my paper right now?
Well, let's talk about an interesting Big Ten one.
Yeah, Big Ten.
Actually, a game that has huge implications despite neither team looking good last week. You got Minnesota, who had a terrible, disgusting 14-6 loss, despite being a 14.5-point favorite at home against Illinois. And you got Iowa, who had a relatively close call against Northwestern, who might be the worst team in the Big Ten. Iowa is still in the rankings. Minnesota, despite losing that one, is probably not too far. I mean, if they beat Iowa, they're probably back in the rankings, which makes no sense because neither of these teams, from what I've seen, deserve to be in the rankings.
No.
Iowa's getting 5.5 in this one at home. Probably right, rightfully so. Minnesota obviously lost to Bowling Green earlier this year. They bounced back huge from that and went on a streak of wins.
They did.
Looking dominant in pretty much all of those games.
That they did, my guy. Do it.
This is a hard pick. A hard pick for me. I do want to do it. I don't want to be too much of a homer, and I hate 5.5. I hate that line.
You hate that number. You hate that number.
I hate my 5.5s and I hate my 4.5s. So, we're going to buy 2 points on this game.
Okay.
Which I rarely buy 2 points. That'll probably put me at minus 150, minus 160. But I'm going to take Minnesota to cover 7.5.
All right. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. You hate 5.5. I hate 5.5 too. And I'm going to do what I know you want to do, but you're too worried about being a homer. I get it, bro. I'm rowing the boat on this one. Iowa burned me on this shirt a couple weeks ago, and they are dead to me. They are dead to me. I think this loss right here is going to drop them out of the rankings. Thank God. I'm taking Minnesota on the money line. I'm rowing the boat with PJ Fleck all day.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, great opportunity for a bounce back win playing at Iowa. Clearly, they haven't been playing well at home lately because, they had that loss to Purdue where they got spanked at home, and then I think they played Wisconsin at home too, and not a good showing there either.
Not a good showing at all, and that's what the shirt said. So there we go on that, Iowa. You're dead to me. Let's go, Minnesota. Row the boat. Noah, let's move on to this next game. I'm going, again, we're changing everything up a little bit. Next game, we're going Michigan, Penn State. I love this game. I love everything about this game. Michigan, a 1.5-point favorite. You got the over-under at 48.5 right now. Michigan minus 120 on the money line. You got Penn State minus 102.
You said 48.5?
48.5. Over-under.
Well, I can tell you what my very first thought is on this game.
Noah, please give it to me.
Slam the fucking under.
Slam it. Slam it.
Penn State still has one of the best defenses in the country, despite what they may or may not have done the last few weeks or whatever. And their offense hates to score. So Penn State, despite not being in the rankings, they're still a decent team. Decent enough to beat Michigan. I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 times. This game is in Happy Valley, though.
Is at Penn. You'll love to see that.
But it's not a whiteout game.
It is not a whiteout game.
So
we do need to keep that in mind.
Here's my thinking. If they did a second whiteout game, like if they bent the rules and did a second whiteout game, I'd be taking Penn State money line. I'm going to take Michigan on the 1.5, and I am taking that under 48.5. My favorite bet about this is the under 48.5. I think this is a real winner here. As much as I hate Harbaugh and Michigan and Harbaugh's inability to win big games, I don't think he's struggled a ton against Penn State. It's just Michigan State and Ohio State that he can't beat. So we're going to take Michigan in the under.
Okay. I respect that pick. I really do, Noah. However, nah, dude, I can't do it. I can't bet with Harbaugh. Again, I took him to beat Michigan State, and I regretted it ever since. I think this is Harbaugh's slide to drop out of the not the rankings, excuse me, but definitely
playoff contention.
Yeah, definitely drop
out
of
two losses.
Contention.
You're done.
You're donezo. Simple as that. I don't think Michigan has it. I don't think they have enough left in the tank. I'm taking Penn on the money line just because I don't like the price that the 1.5's at, so I'm going to take Penn on the money line.
All right,
dude. I told you we're
bold move.
We're changing things up, man. We're changing things up. I feel like I've been playing it too safe the last couple of weeks, and my record has shown, and so you got to go a little bold. And Noah, we're going to keep going bold, bro. We're going to keep going bold against one of the teams that I hate the most in college football. I don't understand how they keep winning football games. We're talking Oklahoma at Baylor. Oklahoma, a 5.5-point favorite going into this game, 62.5 on the total. Oklahoma minus 220 on the money line. Baylor plus 176. No, this Baylor team, in my opinion, well, I guess just in my opinion, because I didn't watch them play enough early in the season, kind of came out of nowhere as a good football team. Didn't really expect them to do much, if I'm going to be honest with you. Every time
they were supposed to be decent, but they've definitely overperformed
100%
so far.
100%. And this Oklahoma team, I feel like, has just been a disappointment left, right, and center. I hate this team more than anything. Now, granted, they finally did themselves a favor and got Rattler out of the lineup, which you'll love to see. However,
and have looked much better since on offense. Their defense still has issues. So,
no, absolutely. And Oklahoma being 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 against Baylor. Oklahoma is 7-0 straight up, and so obviously I think the money line's out of this. I do think they win the game. But here we go, bro. Here we go. Right there for you. Baylor plus the 5.5. I like it so much. I put it on a shirt. Almost wanted to take the money line. I really almost did because I do think Oklahoma loses a game coming up. But yeah, dude, I'm going to take the 5.5. I'm going to just see you at the cash counter because this team isn't going to cover this. The Oklahoma's going to choke. Baylor at home. You'll love to see it. You'll love my home dogs. Baylor 5.5.
Again, I hate the 5.5.
I know you do.
I hate that. I hate that fucking spread. The biggest thing that jumps out to me with this game, over 62.5. This game has the total makings for a shootout. This is going to be a fucking high scoring classic Big 12, 45, 42, something like that, 48, 45, 48, 42, something big like that. So I'm slamming. That might be, I don't know yet, but that might be my lock of the week is the over 62.5 in this game. It might be. I'm not sure yet.
I don't blame you, dude.
I got to think on that a little bit more.
That's
nice. Just in case, I'm going to buy a point again on Baylor. I'm going to buy them up to 6.5. I'm going to take Baylor to cover 6.5, and I'm going to slam that over.
Love it, love it, love it. I love it, dude. Baylor 5.5, 6.5. Let's go. Baylor to cover all day long. Noah, another game I love. And I know you have some different thoughts on this one. West Virginia, K-State. K-State being a 6.5 point favorite, over under at 47.5. I know this West Virginia team's burned me, but I think they're better than K-State. I know K-State has outperformed how they're supposed to play, but they haven't shown me enough. They really haven't shown me enough. I'm going to take West Virginia, the 6.5, and just enjoy my evening.
AJ, we were talking about this. We were talking about this game a little bit.
Yeah, we were a little bit.
And you were asking me why you opened it with, why is K-State favored? And I said, because they're playing at home and they're the better team. That being said, I don't know that I love 6.5. West Virginia has been pretty good at covering these spreads when they're the underdog.
Yep.
May I point out, when they're I don't even, what are they against the spread this year?
This year, give me 1 second to pull that up.
I feel like they're around 500 in record and around 500 against the spread. And I feel like when they win, they don't cover the spread. And when they lose, they cover the spread, is how this vibe has been with West Virginia for me. So.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. My computer decided to just take a piss. But I know since my computer's frozen, I can see that they are.
I'll pull it up.
4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games when playing K-State. So we like that stat right there.
They're 4-5 record this year.
Okay.
5-4 against the spread.
Okay.
And for some reason, I don't know, because I'm not going to take the time to look into it, but it feels like most of the time when they've won, they haven't covered, and when they've lost, they have covered. Because I know they've covered at least 2 games that they've lost. So
yep.
That tells me I should do the smart thing and take West Virginia on the 6.5, and
there you go.
Not touch a money line, because I do think K-State wins this game, but
oh, you know me. You
ready,
know I'm sprinkling some money line on that.
I'm ready for West Virginia to cover that. So.
Oh yeah, brother. Next game, you're a big fan of this game. I have not looked enough into this, but I'm going to make a pick because that's what we do on this show. You got Syracuse, Louisville. Syracuse is a 3.5 point dog going into this game. Total at 55.5. Thoughts on this game, Noah?
My thoughts on this game is I hate Louisville.
Yeah, hate Louisville.
And because Clemson should have been 0-8, 0-9 against the spread. They had that fluky fucking ending against Florida State. And so if you take that away, Louisville would be the only team this season that Clemson has covered the spread against. Bad. If you can't cover the spread against Clemson, you got problems. We know Florida State has problems, but they also show up some weeks. I don't know. I like what the Syracuse team is doing. I didn't at the beginning of the season, but I'm starting to buy into Syracuse, and give me plus money on Syracuse. I'm going to take them money line, and I love that money line pick. Louisville on upset watch.
Love it.
By the way, I forgot to mention Pittsburgh, another team I want to put on upset watch.
Okay.
Even though I don't love it enough to take the money line, just being a responsible bettor here. Gamble responsibly, people.
Gamble responsibly.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Syracuse money line. I'm not even gonna fuck around with that 3 points.
Don't fuck around with it, dude.
And yeah, upset watch big time in Louisville.
And you know I'm all about my underdogs. I'm going to take them money line too, just because I can. And we love to see
Well, you're all about your home underdogs. This is an away underdog, so.
Yes, but no, I'm about any dog, anytime, honestly, unless it's a bad road dog.
Hey, man, hungry dogs run faster.
Hell yeah, brother.
Is that the saying? Something like that.
Something like that. No one's going to fact check us. If you're going to fact check us, put us in the comments so that we can at least be more educated people. We'd appreciate it.
Hungry dogs do something better. I don't know.
Well, they eat better, that's for sure. They hunt better, probably.
Well, maybe not.
Why wouldn't they? I guess if they're really hungry, then yeah, they couldn't hunt because they'd be, dying of starvation. Now you got me thinking of dead dogs. That's fucked, dude.
You have this range. So you have like hungry dogs, and then like eventually you get to like U of A, where it's like you're no longer a hungry dog, you're just a blind squirrel.
You're just waiting to be taken out back and put a bullet between your eyes, bro.
Oh,
at this
no.
point. Yes,
Well,
yes.
See, that had already happened, and then we got reincarnated as a blind squirrel, and a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, and so we found our nut.
We found our
by the way,
nut.
did we mention U of A one? I don't know if we mentioned that or not.
I don't think we've mentioned it enough, because we're going to mention it at least 5 more times. U of A one, by the way.
Yes. So, there's being a hungry dog, and then there's, eventually you just get a bullet put in your head, reincarnate into a blind squirrel, into a regular squirrel, and then you get blinded because of losses. And then you're a blind squirrel, and then you find a nut eventually.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Something like that, at least. Again, we're not English majors. If you know what we're talking about, or even know that, please drop it in the comments.
I feel like that falls more under like philosophy or something than English.
Is that philosophy?
Sure. Tune into our new segment next week. AJ and Noah talk shit philosophy.
Shit, dude,
I've taken 2 philosophy courses.
Dude, I've taken one too.
So we have 3 philosophy courses between.
Dude, we're essentially no philosophy.
We have 3 entry-level philosophy courses between the 2 of us. So tune into AJ and Noah Talk Philosophy, our new podcast that we will be starting at an undisclosed date sometime in the future.
I think we just need to think about it. No, I think we need to think and really process when we should start that podcast and really take into effect everything that I don't even know what we're talking about. Fucking philosophy, dude. I hated that class, dude. That was miserable. I got a B on a question once, like on a test once. How do you get a B in philosophy? On a single question.
I got a B on a single question, and it really pissed me off. And then I hated philosophy.
Well, no, because it's philosophy, and it's like, well, what did you think when he said this? And I told him what I think of what I said about whatever Plato said or whoever it was, and I got a B. Like, dude, you asked me my thoughts. I'm gonna give you anyway. We're getting to that later. Fuck U of A. Anyway.
That'll be on our philosophy podcast, coming out at an undisclosed date sometime in the future.
Sometime in the future when we have time. If you want that to happen, like, share, and subscribe, because that'll get us monetized and allow us to put out more stupid content like that. So if that's what you want, help a brother out, and we'll get you that content. Anyway, let's get back to something we actually know something about, or we pretend to know something about. Let's go back to college football.
Are you saying I'm not a philosophy expert?
Yes, no, that is exactly what I'm fucking saying right now. But I'm sorry. You can be a philosophy professor if you want. I mean, professional if you want.
Well, I was going to say, I think I have to actually get a degree in that to do that.
Do you though? To philosophize?
Maybe.
Philosophize?
I don't know.
What would that word be? Philosophize?
Well, what's our next game? What's our next game? I'll tell you my philosophy on that. How about that?
All right. Do we want to talk about this game? I think we wanted to talk about this game. Purdue, Ohio State. We care about this? We care about this.
Yes, sir. And here's my philosophy deep dive. Purdue's not a great team, but they do something. Oh God. Can't believe
this show is going downhill so fast.
That is like one of the biggest grammar errors that pet peeves me, and I literally just said it.
Dude, and it sounds like you're saying doo-doo.
Well, yeah, and you wouldn't have even said anything if I fucking breezed by it, but it pissed me off the second I said it.
Anyway,
what Purdue does every single season is upsets a top-ranked Big Ten team. It happens, and I was wrong this past week. It was my favorite pick of the week. I slammed it so hard. Michigan State -3. Michigan State got embarrassed because Purdue had already knocked off a top 5 team, and I thought they only did this once this season. Apparently, now they've done it twice. I realized maybe Iowa was fake. No, I know for sure Iowa was fake at number 2. So maybe that didn't count, and I should have taken that into into consideration. They've now knocked off Michigan State, who I do believe is a good team. I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State. I don't think they're going to go three-peat this year. I don't think they're going to go 3 in 1 year. However, God, the spread is high.
Dude, it's 20.5, bro. It's a lot of fucking points.
What's your thought on this game, AJ?
You know what? As much as I hate to say it, Ohio State is a fucking dude. They're beasts, bro. They're at home too. Are you kidding me? There's no. I think this is a blowout. I think 20.5 is too low. I think this should be a 25.5 point spread if we're going to be completely honest. And so that's why I am gladly taking Ohio State to cover 20.5 all day long, bro, because this game should be at 25.5.
Well, so here's my philosophy on this game.
All right, Noah, let's hear your philosophy.
One of two things are going to happen. Either Purdue's going to go in there and win, or Ohio State's going to blow them the hell out.
Noah, that is how sports work. There are two outcomes possible.
Well, I didn't say one team's going to win or the other team's going to win. I said Ohio State's going to blow them out or Purdue's going to win.
Okay, so you said Ohio State's either going to blow them out, which would then mean they win, or Purdue's going to win. So that's two outcomes right there.
Right, but this is why I'm taking my contradicting bets, because this money line on Purdue is going to be incredible.
It will be. Don't do it.
I'm going to hang the 20.5 on Ohio State.
Oh, wow.
For a unit. But I'm also going to take maybe a quarter unit or a third unit on Purdue money line.
Shit. I mean, that's what I would do. Except this Ohio State team is just disgusting, bro. They're disgusting. And I know a little bit, they came out the gates a little weak. I'm not weak, a little slow, but they're disgusting, dude. In 20.5.
No, fuck it. I'm taking 1 unit on Ohio State, and I'm going to take a half unit on Purdue money line.
All right, fair enough.
Either I'm down a half unit, or I'm down a unit and a half if Purdue fucking covers, or if Purdue wins, then I'm up big.
Yeah,
I'm up like big. Then I'm up like what's the money line on that? I mean, 20.5 point spread. That's got to be like,
it's got to be in the 300s.
Plus 3, 4. No, higher than 2s. It's got to be plus 3, 4, 500, something like that. I don't know.
I do not have the line in front of me, though. We will get it to you by the end of the show.
Either way, that's my pick. Ohio State to cover half unit on Purdue money line.
Perfect. All right, we got only a couple more games to cover. Next game is pretty big. You got Texas A&M at Ole Miss, man. Texas A&M is 2.5 point favorite. You got the total at 56.5. What are your thoughts, bro? Because I know which way I'm leaning.
Well, I just want to say, outside of betting, this is a very, very important game that I think people are maybe not talking about enough. I mean, it does, there's other factors that have to happen, but if A&M wins this game, then they should win their last 2 as well. Mm-hmm. If Alabama drops a game to Auburn or anybody else before the end of the season, that would put A&M in the college football playoff. So this game, huge implications. I think A&M knows that. They know they've lost 2 games that they feel like they should have won already this season. Jimbo Fisher's a great coach. I think this team's going to come in fired up, and I'm slamming A&M 2.5. Matt Corral, great quarterback. Ole Miss, they got a good program going. A good program, not a great program. I don't know if A&M is great yet. We will find out by the end of this season, depending on what happens. They did get a win over Bama, Jimbo being the first former Saban assistant to win against Saban. Despite the struggles early, it feels like the magic might be in the air for A&M. And this is a hungry fucking dog. This is the hungriest dog out there. And I'm talking dog in terms of making the SEC championship, not dog in terms of a single game. A&M's going to fight hard the rest of the regular season. They're going to kill their opponents, whoever they're playing, every game. I mean, I like A&M by double digits in this game, to be honest.
Yeah. I have, when I was looking at this game, like when I first saw the schedule, I said 7.5 points on Texas A&M all day. But if they're going to give me 2.5, fuck it. I'll take the 2.5 and I'll just sit and enjoy the blowout.
Well, I'm going to slam the 2.5, and I am going to tease this up to 6.5 as well.
Shit, you might as well. Can't blame you there. Noah, last game that I have that we want to talk about, unless I'm missing one, got NC State at Wake Forest. NC State being a 2.5 point dog going into this game, total being at 66.5. Noah, this show loves Wake Forest. We really do.
I mean, half of this show loves Wake Forest.
Yeah, I guess. Half.
The other half, being myself, has maybe bet on one, maybe 2 games this entire season that have even had Wake Forest playing in them.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
I don't think I've really bet on them or against them. Like most, I think I've placed like maybe 1 or 2 bets, including Wake Forest this entire season. I've just been kind of off of them, staying away from them. I mean, they're coming off of what, like 55-52 loss to North Carolina.
Yeah, rough one.
Yeah, that defense has got to figure shit out.
They do, but and that might be a reason that we look at the total being at 66.5. That's not too bad, and I'm seeing that at most of the shops.
You said 66.5 is the total?
Yeah, 66.5. My eyesight's not that bad. 66.5.
Oh, slam me that over, baby.
Honestly, let's go.
Because as SVP said, Wake Forest has been scoring 1 million points every game this year. Only problem is last week they gave up 1 million points. So
absolutely, you can score all the points you want, but if you can't stop shit, it doesn't matter. But regardless of that, I understand they can't stop shit. Dude, I'm gonna take the 2.5
on
Wake Forest.
I'm on the opposite side. I'm taking NC State.
Ooh.
Give me NC State. Give me NC State money line.
Money line.
Yeah, a couple point dog. I'll take him. Take him money line, and I'm slamming the over. So.
Yeah, slamming the over. I'm on them -2.5. Noah, anything else you want to cover before we end this NFL college football week 11 bets?
There's one more game that you wanted to cover. I know, especially the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns.
The Raging Cajuns
playing at Troy.
Yes. Noah, this is not
Louisiana Lafayette 6.5 point favorite.
Yes.
AJ, we love this one. We love this one, right?
Dude, this is not a game I'm gonna watch unless I happen to be at the bar that it's on. But dude, 6.5 Raging Cajuns against Troy. What are we even talking about, bro? Like, honest to God, yeah, you give me that 6.5 all day long, and I'll just go ahead and wait to cash that ticket.
Yeah. These guys let me down last week.
They did let us down last week. They did. But hey, you got to have a short memory in this game. You got to have a short memory.
They were my lock of the week last week. Disappointed me. Won the game. Did not cover the 12.5 that they needed to.
Do it.
It's redemption time. It's redemption time, AJ. They had a bad week.
One bad week is not the worst thing in the world.
It might be making the same mistake twice in a row, but I'm taking them -6.5.
Hey, you got to be ready to get hurt twice. Noah, we're both taking them on the 6.5. You got to get ready. You got to be ready to get your heart broken.
My ex got back with her multiple times. AJ, you know that.
Oh God.
So I've done this before. I'm used to making the same mistake multiple times and getting hurt multiple times in a row. So we'll just what's once more? What's once more? We've been
another
through it
unit
before.
Honestly.
Let's do it again. Let's take Louisiana Lafayette -6.5, and I hope it goes better this time.
Dude, same. Probably not, but same. Let's hope it goes a lot better. But 6.5, I love that number. Love
I mean,
this
it just
team.
looks so good a second
It
time in a
does.
row, but
It
I just in the
does.
back of my mind, I'm like, it's gonna burn me again. But
Dude,
if
right?
it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean,
Dude, this is like right after your ex gets a new haircut or something, and you're like, God damn, one more time. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world or something, you know?
no. It's more like your ex posts a thirst trap, and then you're drunk and you hit her up, and then you're like, fuck. And then when it loses, and you're like, God, why did I do that?
Why? And then
But
next week comes around, and then she posts another thirst trap going out on a Saturday night, and you really contemplate life at that point. But enough about our life decisions. Noah, anything else on college football week 11 you want to talk about?
not on college football.
No.
I just do want to shout out, college basketball started yesterday.
Shout out. Thank God, bro. Thank God.
Fantastic first day. A lot of really good games, a lot of games that were closer than they should have been, a lot of major blowouts. We'll see. I off to a one of my 14-6 start on the season through 2 days. Took 18 games, yesterday. Only had 2 games today. Won both of them by only a half-point margin, so that was a little scary. But we're off to a good start. If you haven't heard us talk about it, I don't know if I've mentioned it too much since we started this podcast, but I do pick over the last 4 years, I am a little over 67% on my college basketball picks. So I have an algorithm that I developed that you cannot have. I will not share. I will share some picks.
You'll share picks.
If you follow us on TikTok, I will start giving out between 1 and 3 picks a day that I like. My favorite, I'll try to do one a day. I might not do one every day. Like today, for instance, I hated the slate. I was iffy on 2 games, but decided to pull the trigger on them. I hate the slate tomorrow, but Friday and Saturday, we got a big slate. I'm definitely going to have some games that I like. So definitely follow us on TikTok if you don't already. I will start posting, like I said, at least 1 most days, up to 3, maybe 4 on big days where there's 100 games going on. So
keep an
eye out for that. Hey, they're not all going to hit, but they hit at a high rate. So
and another reason to follow us on TikTok, I post extra shirts on there every week. Like that's why, if you wonder why the shirt is 6-4 right now, it's because I've took the Colts. That was too easy. I mean, taking against the Jets, too easy. No, it's just what we do. Sometimes you got to expand what you do. I'm expanding the shirt and it's going well so far. So we're going to keep it expanded until it doesn't. That's why you follow us on TikTok at Degenerate Takes 69. And if you're not, please like, share, and subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, however you're listening and watching. And we will be back next time with NFL Week 10 Degenerate Bets.